We're going to quickly talk about this brand new Ninjago Dragons Rising comic that's come out with one of the recent Ninjago magazines. Obviously not in English, but they've been translated at this point in time. This is about how Lord Raz meets Jay. So there's a few things that obviously go on. So this is a few days after the Blood Moon ritual. We do know, obviously, between part 1 and part 2, there is at least a week or 2 weeks. Or I say a week and a half at max between the two seasons. Anyhow, a few days after the Blood Moon, we've been... Anyhow, I want to quickly summarize all this part, because the Wolf Warriors obviously come into contact with Lloyd and Nia. These guys are realistically on a scout mission to find Lord Raz. And because they had escaped the prior battle of Noct being freed and all that stuff, of the Blood Moon ritual, these guys are obviously now trying to find Lord Raz. Lloyd and Nia are on a scout mission to find the Wolf Warrior Dojo after it passed. So it is quite interesting to see this point in the comic that they do want to explain this. And I'm hoping, and I'll talk about this in a separate video, but I hope that we find out what the location of the Wolf Warrior Dojo is, because I find that very interesting. Anyhow, I'm going to quickly summarize pretty much what happens until we meet Jay. So I'm going to go over it. You can feel free to obviously read these stuff, but Lord Raz is actually out with a bunch of Wolf Warriors, and they didn't, apparently this is true, this is not that far by from where Lloyd and Nia were at this point in time. Lord Raz does say that they are on their way to the City of Temples, and they need as many troops as possible, which is very interesting. And then later on, Lord Raz sets up camp with, obviously, Noct Jordana, aka Rox, and Cinder, and they pretty much set up camp until Jay comes with that snake lady from the agency. Look what we have here, a few hikers who don't know what camping is prohibited in this area. Are you a dog? Oh god, they call Lord Raz a dog. Anyhow, there's a lot of nonsensical, agency stuff that I found quite annoying, like, not to do sort of things. Anyhow, the purple snake says, what's this? Is this a relic, even something that's noted down? I kind of find that funny, that they could have literally taken this item away, but no, they didn't. So this part of the comic's pretty cool. Anyhow, Cinder starts to fight, asks Lord Raz for permission to fight Jay and, pretty much these agents. Cinder does do it, and he uses Shadow Spin, which was like, yeah, duh, he's going to use it. Anyhow, do you think Jay stands a chance? Yeah, Jay does. Actually, Jay repels a couple of them. Jay's electricity actually can stop Shadow Spin slightly. And I'm kind of interested to see if this will be something that happens in the show. Comics are never usually accurate from the magazines into show version. I just see this as amazing. And if this whole thing was true, I would have loved to see this in the show. And I don't know why we didn't. I think the whole objective of Lord Raz gaining Jay on his team was a huge advantage that he could have propelled a lot on the ninja. And it's quite amazing. Maybe they didn't need to learn Rising Dragon technique. All they needed to do was also have Jay on the team. And can you imagine if Jay has 2 ways to defeat the Forbidden Five now? Seriously, this would be absolutely cool if we saw this in the show. I'm hoping we do. But, I don't know. I don't really know. This is just... I'll say this at the end of the video. This is pretty cool if this does happen, and then we get training sequences in the show. But it's not even confirmed that this does happen. It's a comic that usually doesn't get spoken about. I know Doc White has said other forms of media should be canon, and I'm hoping this does become canon. I'm very upset that we haven't seen this in the show, though. In short terms, Lord Raz is actually pleased that Jay can pretty much stop Shadow Spin and sees this worthy. In my opinion, I don't really like this a lot. I do like the idea that Lord Raz sees potential in him, but I don't believe that's really Lord Raz's opinion, and that's what he was like. He was like, yes, he can stop Shadow Spin, he should be on our side, because if he does, he could join them. No. I don't think Lord Raz is 1, that's stupid. 2, he's not that dumb. And 3, he's smarter than what it thinks, and I disagree with what Nock said in Dragon's Rising Season 2, Part 2 at the end, that Lord Raz just thinks he's smart, but he's just not. I think Lord Raz is smart. I think he knows that the 4 original elements were Ninjago, and that they all did work together. I wouldn't doubt that. If it was Neo that lost her memory, I'd say don't think he even remembers her, or even thinks she's on the team. But hence this, there's potential for many things. I'm just very interested to see what definitely does come next. Now, obviously, I do have an opinion on Jay, and I will discuss it now. So, in brief summary, what do I think about Jay in this comic? Absolutely bullshit. Jay did not act like an administration person as stupid as the others. He actually had a Tin Man brain and a heart. And I think he definitely spoke like this when he saw Bunzel, but he came from his own personality, if you know what I mean. It just, in the comic, it just sounds like he's just acting like an agent. Brainwashed, in my opinion. However, the way Jay does act in this comic, fighting skill-wise, is really nice. And the only disappointing thing I see about this comic is we're never going to see this in the show, though, and I want to. I'm hoping they do next season, or this season itself, this year, because it's a really big missed opportunity, and I feel like in the comments of all these videos that will come out discussing this comic, people are going to be really upset, and I am too. I feel like this may have just been a wasted true potential story for the show, but hence it's in a comic, and to be honest with you, I wish this comic came out in a bigger, impactful form than a magazine, where majority of this world doesn't get it. I know America doesn't get it. The only countries I know of properly is German, UK, and Australia. Or UK, I mean Europe countries, because I've seen it in different places in Europe before. I hold this bracket down, and I suggest that maybe this comic should have been saved for something cuter, like a whole book, and I'm hoping it does. But in the comments, let me know what your thoughts were of this comic. I'm actually happy that we did get it. It's just I feel disappointed that we may never see this in the show, and this might be the only form. And if there's a lot of things that obviously Jay can do. He can combat Shadowsman with his own powers. I think that's something that we need to talk about in the show. So it definitely opens up a lot of questions for Shadowsman. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. Peace out.